77. It's on 5 miles. $82. Surface is nice and hard packed on this resurfaced area. Past 84, the dam will be another 3/4 mile up here. The detour entrance gate is up here, about 84.4, so almost 84.5. So not much further up here. Can't see it well, but there's a road over here. That's Dam 4 Road. Down the hill, 90-degree angle, and parallel to the towpath right now. It passes a gate entrance onto the towpath, and that would be the detour entry or exit. It's been good hard packed for the most part. There's a gate there. This is the trail off of the towpath to the gate up here to Dam 4 Road. Testing out the e-bike after the firmware update. I'm going to see if it has any more boost on this hill up here. Use that as an example. This is Dam 4. I'll give a picture of it here in a second. Do a 360 degree here. There's my bike, the e-bike. Out there is the parking lot if you drove in. But this is the towpath coming up. It's pretty steep. Doesn't look like it on video, but it is pretty steep. And put my bike in assist 5 mode and the easiest gear, and it just climbed it like nothing. So the firmware update is a success. Other than that, I've been keeping it in assist 1, the lowest level, and it's been good. Probably traveling anywhere from 10 to 12, 13 miles per hour. I could go a little faster, I guess. I'll walk over here, get a picture. But here's the priority current e-bike. And Eddie, Jake, thank you for your assistance. That firmware update is definitely a plus. I would highly recommend it. Hills are a cinch. I did add 2 more cogs to the rear. Some help. Put it back down. I started out at about mile 64, so I've gone about 12 miles so far. And with that little bit of boost on that hill, that's where I'm at on a full charge so far. If it's representative of the actual percentage, I'm doing real good. That's 12 miles on there about now. All right, enough about the bike for a bit. Let's go over here and take a look at the Dam 4. Alright, this is dam 4. Saturday, August 10th, about 6 p.m. Water is churning. Upstream looks calm. Boy, if you didn't know this dam was here, you'd be in for it. There's another angle from the shore. Just doing a circle coming in. And if you're caught in this thing, you have to swim, swim, swim. And then you'd be under. No getting out of that. Come down, try to get out, you can't. Keep pulling you down. Big slack water. Boat ramp, parking lot. It's empty. Don't want to be on the river today. It's only 12 feet level, but boy, it's churning down at dam 4. A lot of water. All right, here we go on here. One-handed is not advisable, especially in that loose rock. Low branch, everybody down. A little muddy over top of here. Don't want to fall on this. That's about 6-8 feet down. So, how close it is to the towpath. About 6 feet or so. After checking the hydrograph, we knew it wouldn't get up this high. They've revised it. Rainfall tapered off considerably from that Debbie hurricane tropical storm. Muddy River, Potomac. Keep pressing on. It'll be covered down here in some of the concrete areas. Don't know how far I'll get. Probably just past 87. We'll see. Another mile and a half. Take a minute, talk about the bike for a quick second or two. Of course, If you haven't been following my updates, this is the Priority Current e-bike, and I bought it a few months ago. Tried it out, it works pretty good, but as a stock e-bike, it's pretty hard on inclines. So I talked with Priority Bicycles in New York City, that's where they're based, and Eddie, he had mentioned they could send me a cable and download a new firmware file which will boost the torque, change the torque limit to allow it to go a little higher, a little more effort on the hills, or less effort on the hills. So anyways, I just tried it on the towpath back here in Dam 4, that hill, and that's a pretty good steep hill, short one, but Assist 5, it just climbs it right up in an easy gear. Now, I also changed the rear cog by 2 teeth, so that gave me a little bit more climbing gear inches, but for the most part it was the file that he updated with allowed me to update. I can't talk. Allowed me to update the firmware. So I would recommend it. They call the file Superpowers.el instead of the program B. So I'm on the towpath, and I'll shut up here about now. But so far, I was concerned about how much battery it would take, since it boosted the torque, more power to the motor. That's on the motor. I think he said it's about 30% boost, more torque, and I believe it works better. But I've been doing an Assist 1 this whole distance, and of course I'm still pedaling, I'm feeling it too, but it's giving me some assist, just like it's supposed to as an e-bike. 5 levels, 1 through 5, can't talk again. But with that firmware update, yeah, that Assist 5, probably even 4, and an easy gear, it just climbs up that hill. No effort. And comparing that to my traditional pedal bikes, even with the low granny gears, 17, 18 inches, I'm still effortlessly trying to pedal up those, get a little winded, but it's a breeze going up with this e-bike now as compared to before the stock. Just not enough oomph to get up the hill with the e-bike before. Alright, so back to the daily riding. The towpath, approaching the concrete area near 86.5. And this is the surface after torrential downpours on Thursday night. And yeah, Thursday night, we had a good 3+ inches at my house, all within a couple hours. And it was just moving all through here, that Debbie tropical storm. And it's dry as a bone, pretty much. Nice, firm packed, just like it should be. A few soft spots just because of the gravels on it, but for the most part it's good. Now the river, it's pretty muddy, really muddy actually. Get a glimpse maybe through the trees, but it only got to 12 feet. They were estimating with the rainfall forecast, although it tapered off by half, they only got up to about 12 feet here using the Shepherdstown hydrograph. It was going to be about 22 feet and about 16.5, 17 feet right through here, about 86.5. This would have been covered, or starting to be. And the concrete area, it's going to be dry for the most part, all except for about a section or two that'll have about a foot of water, which will be muddy after that recedes. It'll be good though after it dries up. But today, after all that rain, you wouldn't even know it rained. All right, back to the program here. This is the concrete section. It's about 86.5 mile marker here. Big slack water. And it's going to be flooded right down through there. You can't see it past here. But down the other end, it's going to be about around a foot, because the water level is about 11.5 feet maybe. And it floods at about 9.6 feet, just under 10 feet in some low areas. But the high point here, that's probably about 14 feet. It would have to reach about 14 or 15 feet to be covered. See if we can scan through here. All right, so let's roll through here. Water seems a little bit calm, but it's actually rolling along pretty good. Pretty good current going. Can't tell since we're riding along here. But the river hasn't got up this high, and it won't now. Tonight it should start to recede. It's at about the highest it's going to be on this event. In this section, it's probably just going to be flooded nearly at the end of this concrete section in the low, about 200 yards of the low section, which I'll probably turn around there. About 2019, I saw a couple guys wade that area. It was down about like this probably. John, it's pretty clear this time around. Too bad it wasn't like this back in April. But it'll be real nice coming up here the next week for y'all. You and your son have a good ride. There's about 9 sections like this. It's not an all complete concrete section. There's about 9 dirt path areas, 8 or 9, and it varies up and down a little bit. About a 4 or 5 foot variance. But this would be covered at about 15 feet. All this would be covered 14 or 15 feet. Definitely be impassable at well, you can't tell right now, but when you get up here a ways, if the water's still up around 11.5 or 12 feet, there'd be like a long section of about a foot deep water. And it leaves muddy silt, real sticky, but it's slippery. That's weird. It's slippery, but it's really sticky on your tires. That's how it was back in April anyways. But yeah, you wouldn't tell by rolling up here right now that it rained a whole bunch. Because usually there's all sorts of mud puddles. But maybe the storm missed this section. Of course, other parts really rained hard, 2-3 inches. But through here it's all dry. A few mud puddles, that's about it. This is a pretty section here. Good place for a good long view picture. Get some of those rock cliffs in the picture. One year, a lot of you may remember, all this covered with logs and branches and all sorts of mud debris. When it gets to about 20 some feet or so. Let me cut this out a little bit and I'll tune back in. Yeah, a lot of times after a flood, this muddy section, or the dirt sections, are a bunch of mud. But it's good. Getting close to the flooded section. See what it looks like. Down here is the lowest part of this concrete area. Get it closer there. Sometimes when I get off the bike, my belly hits the buttons, I guess, and cuts the assist off. Well, I don't see any water at all, so I think the hydrograph was off. Let's see, because this is usually flooded through here. Helps to have eyes on the ground. You can't just go by what the gauges are saying. Now the gauge is way down. Shepherdstown 73. Yeah, I never got up this high. We'll see. If it got up here, it'll be muddy. But it looks super dry. No, the river never got up here. Well, that's one thing. If it did, it just got right to there. 10 feet would have been flood area. This is 88. And approaching McMahon Mill. I'm at milepost 88.1. Behind me is McMahon Mill. Of course, the parking lot, it's open. And I just came from Shepherdstown, 15 miles away, and it's not flooded at all. I never even touched it. The hydrograph was saying 11 or 12 feet, 11 and a half feet. And normally at 10 feet, 9.6, it floods, starts to flood. If it did, it just touched it just a little bit. So it barely got 10 feet. So you can't believe that gauge. I guess too many factors go into it. I guess if it was total area rainfall, must have been just certain areas.